Hey there everyone, and welcome to the Armageddon Tournament 2. We did this a few years ago now, I think it was a couple of years ago. It is a clan versus clan tournament. There were like 35 people involved in this across 5 different clans. So we're all put into groups and then we fight within our group and do kind of not quite a best of 3. It's 3 matches with each one of our opponents and then we get points for our wins, and if we get all 3 wins then we win overall. So the tournament is over now. I couldn't release these videos until after the tournament was over because it would be showing my opponent's teams and then that would give other people insight into all that, so it would just ruin the tournament. But anyway, now it's all over, we can show these videos. So the results are already out there. My clan, the one clan, managed to win the overall tournament just by a single point. It was super close. So this video, I'm going to be covering the matches with Tavaray from... I shouldn't name the clans because I'm going to mess it up. I'm going to be facing Tavaray. I think he's from EMI, and also I'm going to include one battle from DMG, the guy I faced there, which was the most controversial battle of the entire tournament, because the guy decided to quit the game. Well, people were saying he quit the game because I beat him so hard. It wasn't quite like that. He'd actually quit the game already and came back to play for the tournament. But he didn't want to come play these tournament matches, and after the one match with me, he was like, right, that's it, you know, I'm going to leave. So, because the matches with Tavaray were the quickest ones, that's why I put this clip into this video. All these 3 videos are going to be about 20 minutes long, unless I ramble at the beginning, like this. So, without any further ado, let's go into the matches, and you'll see my teams as we play, because, yeah, I can't remember if we get to see all the teams in all the matches, but anyway, you know what I mean. Got 3 different teams. So this first one is my kind of mythic spam team, and up against Tavaray here, he can't do much with his Glaceron. I, for some reason, single-minded, like, I'm going to knock back the Azaridos. For some reason, I decided I was going to do that. In hindsight, probably would have been a better choice to do the times up on Untitled Grenade and the Azaridos, and then just finish off the Azaridos with a Protector Killer from Dragulus. The reason why I wanted to remove Stealth from Glaceron was so it wouldn't stun my XYZ. But then I got in a bit of an awkward spot trying to kill that Tardigrade Grenade. I probably just should have Power Slashed it with Voidress, and yeah, it all got a bit awkward. And his Dreamy Entrances here put me into a really bad spot. So as you can see, my XYZ's stunned out of play. 2 of my monsters are asleep. I was kind of counting on Voidress being able to like Ritual 6, something that was asleep. But that was the first thing that went to sleep. And then he really nicely gets Raw Blood Fury charged on Glaceron. So he is like fully set up, ready to go now. I'm in a really bad spot. Not much I can do with Aetherian here, except I can really slow down this Bloomiluga. And looking at the opponent's monsters, the Bloomiluga's going to be annoying. Like, it's another monster on his side of the battlefield, which is going to do a lot. And I'd rather kind of slow down his aggression in some way. The other thing I can do with Aetherian, which I didn't want to do then because I didn't want to give it away, but he leaves Aetherian alive, and then what that means is that when I get a turn here, I can do Time Warp, and then my monsters wake up, because that passes 100 seconds. So I just about managed to get out of this sleep block, and I focus on killing these Wraith Captains. I've faced Wraith Captain enough to know, like, it just wrecks you with sleep block. So I kill the one that can clone. So now he's just got 1 Wraith Captain left. I'm going to Ritual 6 this Rhino. I know Glaceron's going to get a kill here. Ellen Fox too. But I've got to get rid of sleeping monsters so that then I can actually be fighting properly. He takes down Voidress rather than Soral though, which is a bit interesting. I personally would have gone for Soral. He then also removes my stun protection, so I get slightly worried, okay, what he's going for here, maybe, is to stun me. But anyway, I'm also now deciding, do I get rid of the Wraith Captain because it can sleep me, but I've got Stealth, so I'm not too afraid of that. So I take down his Sweepers. He has yet more sleep. However, now I've actually got something which can deal with it. So I remove my Dragulus from the battlefield. Sorara is just amazing. You're going to see him across these battles. He's such a powerful monster. He gets rid of his team, which then I forgot to commentate that as that happened, but basically gives him pretty much a team turn because his Lyra came in, and so the monsters behind weren't pushed back, so they get a turn basically instantly, or effectively instantly. So he got a few turns there. He can take down the Civilian, which he decides to do. Gives a turn to Dragulus. I've already used a Swift Knockback, but I can get rid of the Stastigan. So I do that. He gets rid of my Sorrel at this point. It's pretty nasty back and forth, but it just about lines up for me to kill off the Hexacross. Then I can Bloodthirst the Razorray or the Milgon. I decide to leave Razorray because it's not charged right now, and it's got a kill which I want for this Slayer Banal. So it's a little tighter than I'd like. That Sleep Lock at the beginning was really, really scary. Luckily, I managed to do the Time Warp, which got me back into the battle, and also luckily, I just about managed to get things lining up there in the middle to take down some of what the enemy team had, some of what Tavaray had, so that I could close out here. But those two monsters at the back of my team, they're just useless monsters, so I was literally down to my last 4. And if things had lined up a bit less well, he could have definitely won that one. So on to the second match. This is my team with Bastia, and I completely forgot at the beginning here that I have Bastia on the battlefield. So I'm panicking, thinking, okay, he's got White Titan next in line. I need to really worry about what's last in the turn order, because it's going to get given a turn. He knows that Bastia is there, and decides to do the normal charge rather than the eternal charge on Aurelius. So yeah, I focus on killing Aurelius, then White Titan enters and I don't get another turn. And I was like, oh no, I planned to like blood crave the Zeverius or something. Anyway, I think as it turns out, I ended up making somewhat smart choices here, that it worked out, but I was for some reason forgetting that I had Bastia. Also, I didn't know Stun Killer doesn't kill the Zeverius, but that worked out in my favour because Poseidon now can't use the Solo Vengeance. So yeah, I kind of got pretty lucky with how I fumbled my way through this. But now we've got a turn with Bastia. I'm going to do the Goddess's Protection, and it's going to be really hard for him to fight out of this one because he can't really kill anything I've got with what he's got in the battlefield. His White Titan can't really do anything. The Poseidon's blocked by the Zeberius. The Zeberius is way out of play. So I'm just going to either take down the Anti-Stan or the Poseidon here. I'm going to get rid of Poseidon before it messes me up too badly. So let's kill that off. I know the next 2 monsters, not a huge issue. Although saying that, the Spectre Fox is going to be able to kill both Padronorca and Nova Drake, and he hasn't got any Earth monsters, so it can still go with Solo Bloodgrave. But anyway, I stun this thing's out of play, gives me enough time to do things. Unfortunately, at this point, I've got to just lose my Padronorca. But, you know, I feel like I'm in an advantageous position. I can probably do okay. I've just got to be really careful with how I do these kills. So I don't want to bring in the Penguinator, because that's going to do some nasty things. The only thing on my battlefield that has a kill is Spectre Fox. So the Penguinator isn't going to be too bad as long as I don't have multiple kills set up. But again, also, I'm not entirely sure how I want to line this up. I kind of want to be getting fewer than 2 kills, although looking at this now, actually, I had 3 kills, 1 kill with all my monsters apart from Bastia. So I got a really lucky knockback random, or random knockback, because they stupidly decided to nerf it and make it so you can't target anything. But I got lucky anyway. Yeah, that definitely helped me out a lot in hindsight. Looking at this now, that was really, really good for me. Because that Penguinator was going to kill my monsters. So yes, from here, just kind of very carefully killing things. I don't want to bring in that Padronorca yet, so I put Oni Guys down to hold ground. Also, sleep isn't really going to hurt me, so anything that Oni Guys does at this point doesn't really matter, because I've got Bastia and Spectre Fox that can both purify, plus Donrilla can as well, so, you know, sleep is not a problem at all. And yeah, he decides to go up at this point. There's not much he can do from there. So pretty lucky again, actually, to be honest. So this third one, he has Zeberius again. My setup is going with some beast stuff. I built around Chica Bloom for this team, and it lines up quite nicely here with the 20 seconds putting me just behind Zeberius, so I can take down the shield on Turbo Tusk, and then he's got to try and do something here. But I'm going to kill that Jaguardian with my Catmander, so he's not going to get a double retribution off. And then I've got 1 second ahead of Cynthia. I've got Ellen Fox, so I can kill Cynthia with that. Yeah, really, really nice. So for some reason I do Stone Missile rather than Flaming Blaze. I think a Flaming Blaze would have been perfectly fine there. And then I'm able to kill Turbo Tusk So literally taken out his entire front line with everything just lining up really nicely. He's gone for both Jacqueline and Motor Dragon to add a lot of extra monsters into my team. So Gabrielle has the permanent shield. Very nice, kind of setup. Gabrielle had just come out at this point, so he was testing her out. People have found that she's not particularly strong, so I don't want to really make comment on whether this is a good setup or not, but cool idea. You can see what he's trying to do here. However, looking at this, I'm thinking I don't really want to kill Jacqueline or Motor Dragon at all. Gabrielle isn't a huge problem, and I actually can't deal with her anymore because I don't have any piercing. So I'm just basically going to leave those three alive and focus on Rex Terminator. He managed to get some nice kills there, lining things up, doing a give turn to Rex Terminator as well. It's pretty good actually to have Gabrielle with something like Rex Terminator. Jacqueline, got that one kill on Sheikah Bloom, but now is basically stuck. So I need to cut off this Rex Terminator. I'm just trying to line it up properly. It's not a whole lot I can do with Plumehemoth? I don't know how best to say that. But anyway, so I'm just going to accelerate. So these guys are now really nasty set up, and I can gift exchange the bronze shell. So yeah, I'm basically good to go with at this point, and he hasn't got much going on. He can give turn to Rex Terminator here again. I'm trying to remember what he does. Interestingly, he doesn't really go for Slayerbane. I've noticed this with people using Gabrielle, that they just do a lot of give turn or purify mist rather than Slayerbane stuff. I'm not entirely sure why, but anyway. So I'm umming and erring. Do I want to try and save the HP on my Ronoel by not using Solo Brocave and instead using Solo Brocave to kill it when it's on a whole ground or get rid of the shield? But I decided to go for the faster option and just take it down with like that, the way I did. So he's starting to now use Sprout Conversion because he probably realizes he's in a really bad spot. He can't do much, and I've got fast sweepers set up now. I'm going to be killing his monsters super fast. I think with Plymouth I just start skipping now. So yeah, as I said previously, I'm just going to keep killing this new monster that enters. Momo, I decide to not kill anything with. I am a know about doing Life Flip Enemy or Fast Strike on something, but I decide, no, I'm not going to keep skipping because I think I might need that repulse in the future. And I'm just going to use my other monsters, basically Rhino and Catmander, to kill through his team. Catmander's especially good with an Eco Punch to get rid of shields to then take them out, Basically, shield a whole ground, doesn't matter. I'm going to be wiping through that stuff. So Jacqueline gets rid of the Motor Dragon. It's a smart choice. Motor Dragon wasn't doing anything at all. I decide to not Fast Strike. So at this point, I'm a little bit afraid of Gabrielle's Slayebane, because I do see that kind of coming, and otherwise, give turn can kind of mess things up with how I'm trying to line them up. So I'm going to repulse Gabrielle, and that's what I'm skipping Momo for now. So I do it at the last possible moment. At this point, I will repulse Gabrielle. It also means that when I Solar Blood Crave this Vine Gazer, it poisons Nova Drake, which is just beautiful. He's obviously going to Sprout Conversion that Box Chomp. I just have to waste time with Plumehemoth. But you can see, this is just really tough for him to get through. I'm killing his things too quickly that he can't get anything going, and I can just keep on killing these Vine Gazers that he's making. This is where I think Jacqueline is a lot weaker than she used to be. I get it. Those Vine Eyes that she used to make were a nightmare because they just really struggled to get rid of themselves. However, now I think that Jacqueline's actually not that great, because the Vine Eyes can get rid of themselves really easily, and if you are doing the Sprout Conversion thing, it's a bit too slow to really get going, and Jacqueline's damage is pathetic. She can't do anything except for the Sprout Conversion. So yeah, it puts you in a really bad spot that you basically just have to Sprout Conversion itself, really, and then try and do the Vine Gazer thing as just Vine Gazers or something. It's not really kind of on the same level as what top teams are doing. So we get to the last few monsters here. He did manage to get a Vine Gazer on the battlefield. You got a kill or two, but now I've got birds for Union attack because sneakily I have a bit of bird stuff in the middle. So yeah, I can do that. I can accelerate and then now I'm going to Union Attack that for the Bronze Shell to die off, so then it comes in and it stuns, and it's all just kind of like, me being a little bit rude here at the end almost. That Fast Strike did so little damage, I expected that to kill. But anyway, that's it with Tavaray. Really well played by him. I got lucky in a couple of those matches. They definitely could have gone the other way if I hadn't got lucky. So moving into the the Notorious battle, this was actually a really, really good battle. So at the beginning here, he's obviously got Garden Fairies. That's the setup that I'm trying to oppress. So I get Garden Fairy Jasmine down to low HP, and Pyrus is actually the one that I'm most afraid of, because nothing can really deal with Sheikah Bloom too well. Well, basically Sunflower can't deal with Sheikah Bloom, but Pyrus can deal with stealth stuff really, really well. I want to get rid of that one. It also means that if he doesn't want to attack here, if he instead wants to heal Jasmine, then he's not doing the attack. I can basically leave this Jasmine on low HP now because he decided to attack, so that's not too much of a problem. I can just kill the Violet instead. Capybaragon did taunt. It's at +9. I don't believe that was 100 seconds, so I don't think he can do the Swallow move. Instead, he's just got the dual Slaybane, so he gets rid of Rhino L. Not too much of a problem. That wasn't going to do that much in this battle. So now, rather than doing the Detonation Plus, he sneakily gives them all a shield, and then he's going to do it, which is very smart. But I can use this Repulse, so now he does still kill off his Angel Lion. And this team which I'm using here is the third one that I used in against Tavaray, and it's got stun in the middle, so I do want to get rid of a stun counter, so that was actually perfect for me. I'm probably going to leave him with this Jasmine. At this point, it is the time to get rid of Garden Fairy Sunflower, so I'm going to do that with the Elm Fox, after obviously doing Protector Conversion on the Bronze Shell. I've got a bunch of stuff that can deal with these annoying tokens, so that's kind of also why I wasn't too afraid of them. So Capybaragon can't do too much other than knock back Sheikah Bloom, which is, good stuff. So there's 2 stun absorbers on the battlefield, and I'm like, okay, I'm definitely wanting to stun them. Rhino I'm not too afraid of, and I can force Rhino to kill the Dark Stag, because I think he'll just do Piercing Blow now. So I do that, and I don't kill Desikian. I know that Fast Strike won't kill, because I don't want to bring in, Padronorka just yet. So he takes a minute to do it, but he does go for the Piercing Blow, which brings in my Desikian. So now I can use Desikian to get rid of the Box Chomp, and I can really get kind of a handle on this battle. And like I said, I know I've got stun coming in just behind Sorrel, which is going to stun those 2 stun absorbers. So I'm deciding, is it safe? Can I bring in Padronorka now? I want to get rid of the Capybaragon because that's going to use the Swallow. I decide to go for it now. I just take a minute. My time is actually going down quite a lot in this battle. I had to make a lot of difficult decisions about how I wanted to handle this all. So now I get rid of the shield on Padronorka, and I'm going to do the Cannibalized token. I don't know what he's going to do, but basically, after this Cannibalized token, if he kills any one of my monsters, he's going to get those 2 absorbers stunned. His Rhino-L's kind of out of play, so the only worry is the Padronorka. And he can't do 2 moves because he's going to get behind my Elm Fox. But anyway, he really wants to kill the Sorrel, and weirdly, at this point, he makes a big mistake, and he just passes time. I don't know why he didn't just use Vigor Fastbreaker on Sorrel. He definitely should have, because now I can kill my own Desikian to stun him, and I could kill off the Padronorka, but I even get lucky here, and the sleep hits Padronorka. So, yeah. This is the point where I think probably he was pretty annoyed. What really upset him was when this happened, because from here, it's such a difficult battle for him to win. He's effectively got 3 monsters bet out of play temporarily. I could stun him more by pulling back my Malwing, but I instead decide I don't want to take the sleep, because I can't really handle sleep right now, and instead I'm going to not stun him more, and I'm going to be a bit more aggressive with things. So I turn this Bronze Shell into a little bird. I then can do a Thundering Strike, but I decide no, I can sneak in a Frozen Punch before I do the Thundering Strike, and carefully remove this Desikian, because the shielding on all the monsters is going to be annoying. So I'm only killing 1 monster at a time here very carefully. So I get rid of Desikian, and then I can now just stun Jasmine. He gets a turn with AOI and decides to quit at this point, because it's basically a battle lost. So yeah, that was that one. So what we covered in this video, it was my matches versus Tavaray. Really good matches with him. Like I said, lucky on a couple of them. I really enjoyed those, and they definitely could have swung the other way. They were my first matches I did in this tournament. I had no idea how things were going to go, and yeah, I was really happy to get those 3 wins there. And then against Deathlord, which it went a bit unfortunate sleeping the Padronorca. It did rub it in a bit harder. I think that was actually a really tough battle to win, with how I had to like carefully make decisions. I had to, make the trade-off between, like, do I kill Sunflower, do I face more bronze shells? I had ways of removing those bronze shells, but, it was kind of tough calls to make. So definitely a tough battle. I wish I had done the 2 other battles with Deathlord, because if they're anything like that, they would have been a lot of fun. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm going to bring out the other 2 videos very soon of me facing the other 2 competitors, and so I'll see you then.